I'm currently on my first read through of One Piece, and I've also never seen the anime, so I just finished volume 2, in which we read about Luffy's encounter with Buggy's pirate crew. I noticed there are lots of references to unconventional treasures, that is, treasures without any monetary value. Luffy calls his hat a treasure, Shushu the dog protects his treasure of the dog shop, the mayor's treasure is this town, and later Buggy and Luffy even have a sort of dialogue mid-fight about what treasure really is, since Buggy can't recognize treasure as anything but gold. This leads me into the topic I really want to analyze in this video, which is when desire for something like treasure goes too far and becomes obsession. After Buggy's fight, Luffy and his crew set off sailing and land on a deserted island where they encounter Gaimon, a man trapped in a treasure box. Even though I enjoyed this chapter a lot, I found myself scratching my head after reading it. It's disconnected from the other events of the narrative, but I knew Oda must have been trying to say something through it. I just couldn't figure out what he was trying to say. I spent a while thinking about the meaning of the man in the treasure box, and then finally this morning I had some inspiration. Sometimes desires trap us. So far in the story, we've seen many healthy examples of desire, like Luffy's desire to be a pirate. But desires can be carried to the extreme, at which point they become obsessions. A desire can be said to be an obsession when it causes us to push away others, to become self-obsessed with our need, and blinds us from seeing other beautiful and worthwhile things. All of this has clearly happened to Gaimon on the island of rare animals. Gaimon attacks anyone who comes to the island, even though he's in obvious need of help. Behavior recognizable to anyone who's ever dealt with an addict. A long time ago, Gaimon discovered the treasure on this island, but instantly fell into a treasure chest and got trapped, preventing him from reaching the treasure on the hilltop. Gaimon is a hostage of his own desire, symbolized by the fact that he's physically trapped inside of the thing he's obsessed with. His desire is literally his captor. When Luffy climbs the hill and finds out the treasure boxes are empty, Gaimon is actually relieved. Even though he can't get the gold, he's free from his need to protect it. Luffy asks if he'd like help getting out of the treasure box, but he remarks that he and the treasure box are now one and the same, and it'd be no use separating them. We can see then, in this moment, that Gaimon has come to terms with his obsession. The message here, I think, is that desire is something beyond our control, and we just need to learn to live with it in a healthy way. Gaimon's an example of that. His desires have cooled off, and he's able to forge a healthier attitude without having to pretend the past never happened. He's learned his mistake, and his willingness to stay in the treasure box shows that he's willing to live with the consequences of his past failures. As Luffy leaves, Gaimon thanks him, saying he feels freed. Now he's able to find beauty in other things, not just treasure, like Buggy. For example, he's finally realized that his island is special and full of unique animals he wants to protect. All this time he was preoccupied with gold, not realizing that the island itself was a kind of treasure worthy of his notice. Now, I'm almost finished with volume 3. I'm at the part where Usopp is visiting the girl at the mansion to tell her stories. I think I'm enjoying this volume so far more than the other ones, just because I'm somebody who much prefers dialogue and character development over action. I just wanted the fight scene with Buggy to be over with a little faster, because that's just me. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Please, if you want to see more, like this video and click subscribe.